Needs like one or two. Charlie asked if we. Yeah, I was gonna say I have to look. I don't know. Should. I didn't say we did. I said we should. I'll put a couple in there. 3, 1 verse. She shouldn't. That's the baby's playing. Hasn't even took the baby to school yet, or dropped the baby off at school yet. No. My little girl or the girl in the back? One of the babies. That's little girl up front. Yeah. She must have went ran inside them. Welcome into day 3, South Carolina. Grab a drink and go a sleep. Road justice. We want to be TV audio. Most a page fucking spell. The fuck? Go back to my channel and open it. Pin message. Okay. Back to Core TV. What, that sausage stuff?
The life of Alex Murdaugh is bizarre. It is complicated. This great South Carolina attorney is charged with the murders of his own wife and son. Okay. Are they breathing? No, ma'am. Who exactly is this guy? Everybody knows Murdaugh. It's a household name. A family that is so powerful. Who knows where this thing is going to end? This case needs to be resolved. We need to put this behind us and move on. Murdaugh family murders. Live coverage today, only on Murd TV.
The Murdaugh family.
What's really fucked up about this family is like him, his grandpa, his dad, his grandpa, and his great grandpa, all lawyers in this county. All lawyers. And the great grandpa was like a judge, a Supreme Court judge or Superior Court judge for the county. He was really prominent guy there. So it starts in 6 minutes. My live stream has started. So we were going to do a recap on yesterday, which was just a lot of the first responders giving their testimony, hearing both defense and prosecutors ask the most dumb question, but they have to be asked. And it wasn't very resourceful. Like, I didn't get anything out of yesterday's testimony. So maybe today we'll hear some more enlightening. I mean, besides the gruesomeness of the fatal accident or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the crime. There you go. And, I also found out, because I wasn't sure, but Paul, the son that was unalived, he had that boating accident back in 2019. And the trial for that was supposed to start.
So a lot of people have been asking me how you can get $540.
The trial for that was supposed to start like a few days before the unalived, he got unalived. So, or a few days after. So he was took out before his trial started. And, with his father and everybody in his family being so well known, his mom's family was a very wealthy South Carolina family as well. That brought a lot of chaos to this family on both sides. So you've got to look at it like that. That might have something to do with why Paul got unalived. Maggie didn't like the lifestyle she lived because she was brought up in that type of lifestyle and knew that Alex could give her exactly what she wanted without having to use her family money. 11,000 acres on this Murdaugh. They had their own airplane hangar, landing strip, golf course. They had a hunting cabinet with 1,800 acres of hunting land. So these were very, 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 very well endowed people. So, with that being said, Court TV is about to start. We are looking at the Great Seal of South Carolina, waiting for this to begin. And I recorded because I forgot I had my speaker on. No, I just started. I'll put it on, what you call it for? The Bluetooth device is connected successfully. All right, I'm gonna mute until they start. bench.
Good morning. Anything before the jury comes in?
Yes, sir. I believe Mr. Fernandez needs to address one housekeeping matter before we bring the jury. Morning, Your Honor. Just per the clerk's request, I'm going to list out a couple of 6 exhibits from yesterday under Captain Chapman's testimony, just clarifying for the record that they were put into evidence and without objection by the defense. That would be 189, 190, 191, 192. Those are 4 pictures that were put in under his testimony, and then 187 and 188. Those were the 2 drone videos. And what do you want to do? Clerk needed clarification on those numbers because it was unclear that those numbers were part of the record.
Bring the jury.
No, sir. Hush. So Alex Murdaugh today is in a brownish color suit with a white shirt, no tie. Imagine this, he doesn't look upset or distraught today like he did yesterday.
The jury is present. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, continuing on day number 5.
Day number 3 of testimony, literally day number 5, because they counted the 2 days of jury selection. All right, so the lady that is a detective. I think that's the one that was shooting daggers yesterday.
Thank you. Take a seat and witness stand. State your name again. Spell your last name.
My name is Laura Rutland, Rutland.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Prosecutors up first.
Nobody's watching. You are Laura Rutland.
I am.
Please tell the ladies and gentlemen of this jury about Laura Rutland, where you're from, where you were born, where you lived, and a little bit of your background leading up to law enforcement, please, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. When I was about 6 months old, my family moved back to England, where we were originally from. Lived there until I was about 3 or 4 years old. Came back to the United States. Grew up in Somerville, South Carolina. Graduated from Somerville High School. After I graduated, I was working as a dog groomer. Met my husband. We moved to Port Royal, South Carolina. He was in the Marine Corps, stationed at Parris Island at the time. Then we moved to Bluffton. We had decided, I decided to pursue law enforcement. I've always been a true crime nerd, into mysteries and things like that. So I decided to pursue law enforcement. I graduated from the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy in 2010 and was working at the Bluffton Police Department, where I held various roles. Started on patrol, became a detective, then I was promoted to supervisor, where I supervised a patrol shift, and then eventually supervised the detective unit at Bluffton PD. My husband and I decided we wanted a lot of kids. So after I had my 3rd baby, I decided to try my civilian job. get out of law enforcement for a little bit with a better schedule. So I briefly worked on Paris Island as a sexual assault victim advocate for the sexual assault response and prevention program. Realized I missed law enforcement, so I wanted to get back. So especially investigations. I first tried Beaufort Police Department, but it would take several years for them to have an opening in criminal investigations. So then I came to the Colleton County Sheriff's Office where they were seeking experienced detectives. And so I joined Colleton County Sheriff's Office in September 2020. And February 2021, I was transferred to the Criminal Investigation Division, where I currently am now. My main focus is child crimes, which means children of sexual and physical abuse. Those are the cases that I predominantly work, as well as I'm a South Carolina ICAC task force member. And what that means is it's internet crimes against children, and that's a task force that's partnership with the Attorney General's office. And we basically battle online child predators, child pornography, those types of cases. We do rotate homicides in the detective division among 9 of us.
At some point, did you work at Paris Island?
I did, yes, sir.
Tell these folks what you did there.
I was a sexual assault victim advocate for civilians on the base.
And your training in law enforcement's been what, detective?
It's been various things. It's been basic training to advanced training. You name it. I've attended several advanced trainings hosted by other law enforcement agencies, state and federal.
How many children do you have now?
We have 4.
Okay. And does your husband work?
He does.
Does he work at home?
He does.
You started full-time with Colleton in what year?
2020.
Okay. And what was your role when you first started with Colleton County Sheriff's Department?
I started on patrol to familiarize myself with the county.
And then did you work yourself, or not work out, but you become a detective?
I did, yes.
Okay. When was that?
February 2021.
On June 7th of 2021. Well, let me ask you before you get there. Where do you, not to cry, don't want the world to know, but they're going to, where do you live?
I live in Ridgeland.
Now, on June 7th of 2021, were you on call?
I was.
Okay. How far is it from Ridgeland to here?
45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic and what part of Colleton County I'm going to.
Did you receive a call to respond to a double homicide?
I did.
Okay. And where was that? Where were you supposed to respond? Okay.
Initially to the scene, 4147 Moselle Road, but due to my long commute, it was better that I stopped at the sheriff's office first, and I be the one to prepare the search warrant for the property.
And who were you coordinating with during that? I mean, who was your boss?
That's Captain Jason Chapman.
And after you'd received the call, did you confer with Captain Chapman?
I did.
And as a result of that, what did you do?
I went to the sheriff's office, prepared the search warrant, was finally able to track down a magistrate. I had to wake him up out of his bed to sign the warrant, and I was able to secure a search warrant for the property.
Okay. And 4147 was that?
Yes, sir.
What did you do after you got the search warrant?
I notified everybody over the radio that I had the search warrant signed because I wasn't sure if the SLED crime scene unit was waiting on me, and it was still going to take some time to get out there. And then I made my way to 4147 Moselle Road with the warrant.
Had you been out there before, to 4147 Moselle?
Never.
When you went out there, did you know what your role was going to be as you were going out there?
I did not.
When you got to the scene, tell us what happened.
So when I pulled up, I noticed there were several SLED agents as well as Colleton County deputies at the scene. I was basically the last one there. And I met with my supervisor, Captain Jason Chapman, and presented them with the search warrant as well as SLED. He asked me if I knew the Murdaugh family, to which I replied I did not. They then asked me if I was familiar with a boat accident that had happened in Beaufort, and my reply was, I've heard of it, but I don't know the details. So with that information, they said, okay, you're going to be assigned as the liaison with the lead SLED agent on the case, who was identified as Senior Special Agent David Owen, and that my task was going to be to assist him with anything he may need that evening at the scene and throughout the investigation.
And I think we've heard prior testimony, but the case was turned over to SLED because of a potential conflict.
That's correct. That was one of the things my captain advised me of when I arrived at the search warrant. He advised me that SLED was going to be the lead agency on the case.
And did you know Special Agent David Owens prior to that night?
I did not.
But did you get to know him and actually get to work with him some?
I did, yes, sir.
And let's start out with that job. When you first got to 4147, and you got your instructions, who you're going to work with, what were your observations? Tell these folks what you saw.
So the first thing as I approached I'm sure you've all heard the kennels, was the overwhelming smell and a lot of water on the ground by the kennels. And then the first body that I approached was the deceased male. He was face down at an angle with his feet inside the plane of the door. There was obvious trauma to the top of his head. He was covered with a sheet, but I could still see the top of his head from underneath the sheet. Obvious trauma. There was brain, blood, hair, skull matter, all within the feed room and the ceiling. There was a deceased female, approximately 30 feet across from where his body was, and she was covered as well. But I had been told that they both had gunshot wounds to their heads. And then from there, we located the 911 caller, Mr. Alex Murdaugh.
Now, did you know, everybody's referring to as Paul and Maggie, did you know Paul Murdaugh and Maggie Murdaugh?
I did not.
Had you ever seen them before you saw them laying dead on the ground?
No.
At that point, did you walk any of the rest of the scene?
Not at that point.
Well, tell the folks what you did do after that.
We located Mr. Murdaugh, Alex, standing at the back of there was his Suburban, and then there was, I believe his brother Randy had arrived at the scene at that point, and they were standing behind Randy's truck, so they couldn't see the scene anymore. So we approached him and asked if he would speak with us. He introduced the man standing next to him as his personal attorney, Danny Henderson, and he agreed to speak with us. By this point, it had started to rain, so we utilized Agent Owen's vehicle to do the interview.
Now, before we get to that, had you made any other observations about bullet holes or shell casings prior to that?
Yes, there were shell casings in front of Maggie's head area, in front to the left on the ground. In between, there was like a gravel area in between the two buildings.
Had you seen what's been referred to as the feed room?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe in there, if anything?
Inside the feed room, I did observe body matter that had been on the ceiling, as well as covered in items inside the feed room. There was shotgun wadding on the floor inside the feed room, as well as droplets of blood on the concrete.
Did you see any holes in the window?
Yeah, there was a window to the back of the feed room that had several holes in it.
I'm going to skip the statement for a second. All right. After you took the statement, we're going to get into that. Did you go back and look at the scene with either Captain Chapman, I say the scene, the shelters, the dog kennels, did you and or Captain Chapman or anybody else have an opportunity to go back and look?
I did.
Okay. Tell me what were your observations, please, ma'am.
Well, it was such a large scene. I decided to canvas the outer part of the scene, and while I was doing that, keep in mind it was late at night. It was dark, so we had flashlights. So while I was doing that, I noted some what appeared to me to be fresh shoe impressions in a sandy part of the shed on the left side of the hangar, what we're describing as the hangar. In between some tractors in the wall of the shed, there was several fresh shoe impressions.
And when you say fresh shoe impressions, what does that mean?
It means that they had been left fairly recently.
What did they appear to you to be?
They look like a flat sandal, flip-flop type shoe. Not particularly large in size. Just flat.
Were they one set of footprints or two based on your observation?
It was one set of prints that looked like it went down one direction and possibly came back.
No doubt about that in your mind?
No doubt about that.
So if you would like to know it, was it like one set of prints going this way?
Yes.
In the
Does
picture.
it look like one set of prints coming back?
Yes, because they did overlap each other a little bit.
And did you, and who was with you when you were looking at this?
I was by myself initially, and then I found my supervisor, Captain Chapman, and showed him what I had.
Where were y'all walking when you were looking at the prints?
We made the decision at that point, due to the type of incident that it was, and we didn't really know what we had yet, to follow the footprints and see if there was any other additional evidence and find out where that person may have been trying to go. So what we did is we stayed to the left side of the shoe prints, closest to the tractors, and followed the prints down. Noted that they stopped at the end of the building, turned around, and came back.
And I'm going to show you what's entered in States 194. Is that what you're just referring to?
No.
Okay. What does this depict?
That depicts several what appear to be boot prints on as well.
Is this the same path y'all walked?
Yes.
Okay. And let me show you.
They couldn't because it was in
Stage 195. Do you recognize this?
Yeah, those are the flat, just the flat ones, impressions.
I'm checking. Can we start with that?
dust impression. So this was the girl that was with the guy yesterday that was walking back and forth through the hangar, and they followed and took pictures of the footprints that went down from the feed house down to the hangar and back up.
Let's show you what's marked States 22. Do you recognize this, and does it relate to your testimony?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, States 22 without objection. Okay. For a minute. Let me go back to what's just been entered as States 22. You said you recognize that. What is that, Detective?
That's in front of the hangar, the building. So Maggie would be to the right, and the shoe impressions I'm referring to would be on the left.
And getting a little closer to States 194.
Yes, that's the left side of the hangar.
Can you show in this picture the prints you were talking about, the footprints?
Yes.
Can you tell me? Let me put in States 195 too, Detective.
Yeah, these flat impressions, these flat ones. And we'll see.
So those foot impressions you saw that night, the flat ones?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any other foot impressions beside the flat ones that you saw?
No.
Okay. On evening of June 7th, early morning of June 8th of 2021?
That's correct.
You're positive?
Positive.
And again, when you and the captain walked, how far were you from the sandals?
A foot to the left.
Don't take this any bad way. But could some of those other prints be yours or the captain's? Or you don't
It's possible.
Okay. Now you were and I'm going to do this without putting it up. This is one of those pictures that we've uncovered, but I'm going to show you states 7. You're a lady. Um, you know what women's shoes look like?
Yes, sir.
Did you go and look at Maggie's shoes she was wearing?
I did.
Okay. Why'd you do that?
To see if they matched the flat impressions I had seen.
And were they similar to you?
Very similar.
And states 200. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
And what are those?
Those are the sandals Miss Murdaugh had on.
And did they appear to be similar to the footprints you saw?
Yes, very.
Now, did Mr. Harpootlian or one of the investigators contact you about these footprints?
He did.
When was that?
A few weeks ago.
And did they send you a picture of them?
They did.
Okay, was it the pictures we just put up?
It was.
And did you tell them that, well, what did you tell them when they sent you
That those were not my impressions.
that those weren't your impressions? Yeah.
Correct.
Volunteer to talk to them.
I did.
Sent you a picture of the shoes.
Yep.
You told them those weren't mine.
Correct.
Let's get back to, I think you said, on the defendant, Richard Alexander Murdaugh, the defendant had said, introduced you to who before you started the interview?
Danny Henderson said he was his personal attorney.
His personal attorney.
Yes.
Did he want his attorney in the car with you?
He did.
And I believe you said it was rain.
Yes, sir.
So what did y'all do to get out of the elements?
We sat inside Agent Owens with sled inside his vehicle.
And please tell this jury specifically where
sound. Is that the defendant, Alex Murdaugh?
It is.
Is that you back in the back?
That is me.
Who is that?
That is Special Agent Owen.
Who is that?
Danny Henry.
Ooh, that's loud. They're having audio issues.
State your full name, please. Richard Alexander.
Hold on, y'all.
I understand. I totally understand. So you don't have any problem with it. So just start to talk, take your time. Like when I came back here, I mean I pulled up and I could see him, and I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. Oh boy, over there I could see it was. I could see his brains. And I ran over the back. Actually, I think we tried to turn the ball over first. I tried to turn him over, and I don't know, I figured it out. His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started trying to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and I could see. Touch maybe at all? I did. I touched them both. I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them. And, I called 911, pretty much right away, and she was very good. I talked to her. I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family. I did that. And I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John. And I tried to call a little boy, a real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him. What all was around Paul when he walked up? Blood. Anything else? There was some body, and just
mean, like any other evidence. I mean, you said this phone fell out of the pocket. But did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of the phone? No, sir. No, not. About Maggie? No, sir. You didn't see anything about the number? What made you come out here tonight? I went to my mom's late stage Alzheimer's. Basically, my dad's in the hospital. My mom gets anxious. She does. I went to check on them and Maggie's the dog lover. She's with the dog. And I knew she was going to the county. I was at the house. I'm at the house and went to my mom's. Just a little while. Tried to call her. Texted her. No response. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there. So they're still up here fooling around homes. Be getting set up to plant my sunflower seeds got sprayed and died and he was refiguring to plant the sunflower seeds. So I came back up here and drove up and saw. I mean, I'm sure we had little things here and there, but we had a wonderful marriage, wonderful relationship. Yours and Paul's relationship? As good as it could be. That was hard. 22. You never did take birth? I did. April 11, 96. His brother's April 14, 9. That's false. What's next? Margaret. Brad Statter. Murdaugh. Her name person. September 15th, 1968. Y'all been having any problems out here? Trespassers, didn't break any? None that I know of. The only thing that what comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck a couple years ago, and there's been he was charged with being arrested for being a driver. There's been a lot of negative publicity about that, and there's been a lot of people online just really foul stuff, but when Paul's out and about, when people routinely, I don't think I know the full story, so I don't think they give it to me, but I mean, he's been punched and hit and just attacked a lot, so, you know, but, I mean, nothing like this. Any one person in particular or a group of people that you could think of? Has he reached out to being assaulted? Has he received any direct threats related to the boat accident? Oh, yes. All the time. Recently? Yes. He gets them all the time. Okay. He gets them all the time. So what kind of, I mean? I'll kick your ass, you know. I've never been privy firsthand, you know. Is that through social media? No, ma'am. It's mostly like if he goes out places, is what, you know, what goes out, like somewhere. He's in college, so he goes out, is what I understand. I can find out better details from some of his younger friends on that. His best friend in Colombia is Will's Chapman, Will Loving, Bobby Boyle, Will Chapman, and Paul were getting ready to move into a house together in Columbia.
Will Chapman and Will Loving.
Will's with an S, Chapman, and Will with an L, Loving. Around here, his best friends are clearly Nova Tootin and Rogan Gibson. Yes, sir.
And what was the other one?
Rogan Gibson.
Have you talked with any of these guys tonight?
Talking to Nova, yes, sir.
Is he up here?
Yes, sir. I tried to call Rogan with one of the people that he's reported. I told you, look around the corner, that's there. You know, he's just a good, healthy young man. You mind if I open the door real quick?
Go ahead. Do what you need to do. So is there anybody that you can think of that we need to talk to tonight? Is there a name that comes to mind?
I can't tell you anybody that I'm overly suspicious of off the top of my head. You know? I mean, it's just such a stupid thing. I'm even embarrassed to say it. But it just didn't make any sense. I just hired a guy out here, and he wasn't cutting the mustard, but I hadn't told him this yet. Paul's been working with him a lot. He killed sunflower seeds in our dove field just recently, which is why Paul was here doing this. He told Paul a story the other day about how when he was in high school, he got in a fight with some black guys. And the FBI undercover team observed him fighting those guys and put him on an undercover team with 3 Navy SEALs. And that their job was to kill radical Black Panthers. And they did that from Myrtle Beach to Savannah. Now, I really don't think this guy, you know, is probably the person, but that's just so freaky.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
It's weird, but he was off today.
Okay.
He took his daddy to the doctor.
What's his name?
C.B. Rudd.
R-O-W-E.
Yeah, and I sent him a message to text me earlier today about the sunflowers, and he called me back when I was on the way to my mom's house. Briefly, I was on the phone with a lawyer friend of mine named Chris Wilson in Bamberg, so I told him I'd call him back tomorrow. See him in the morning.
When you briefly talked to Mr. Rudd, what was his demeanor or attitude? Or...
I asked him about the sunflowers and stuff. You know, I mean, strange a little bit.
Where does he live?
I don't exactly know, somewhere in Bluff. I mean, in Brooklyn.
Do you have his phone number?
I do.
You got it with you, please.
Okay. You know, but I think him and Paul got along pretty well. That's just really, really weird. Alright, CB.
Right there. You left.
Yeah, I know he called me something really bad.
Is that an iPhone?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for 6? Thank you. When did you tell that story to Paul? Sometime last week. My son Paul actually, I really do not think, all honesty, that is him, but I know you'll have to check it out. But Paul was so taken aback by that he sent, I'll find it, I got it on my phone. He recorded him saying bits and pieces of it.
Take a leaf off. No, there's no peace over there. And it's really cat food. It's not even treat. He likes it as a treat. No, he's not really all the time. So he thinks that.
Well, you have a hard on for Paul that you would think would come after him, or know of any direct threats from people on the boat? I don't know any direct threats between any of the people on the boat specifically, but I do think there's been a small amount of gap between them, a couple of them, but not recently. Okay. Most of this was stuff from people that Paul didn't really know. Okay. There were some people that he knew distantly, but more times than not, when I learned about it, it was somebody that he didn't know. It's like, for example, he went out to Charleston a couple of months ago, came back, he got a black eye. And, he can't defend himself right now because he's struggling. So, he would always be a real tough man's man. He would just. He would defend himself, but he had to do it. That's right. As far as what? I've never been prouder of him than the way he has handled the pressures and the adversity in that situation. I think I've told Danny that before.
It was funny because when they first started trial, he wasn't bobbing. Now he's bobbing again.
Almost anything gets along with almost anybody. You don't store any weapons out here? We don't store them, but they're frequently out here. I need to find out if there were any out here because I know there was a shotgun. There was a 12-gauge shotgun out here. I'll have to find out exactly when that was. I think it got put up, but I'm not positive. What did that shotgun look like? It was camouflage. I want to say it was a Benelli or maybe a Beretta. I can't remember which brand it is. I don't think it was out here recently. But I'm not positive. And the shotgun that you had from Jeffrey's pulled up, where did that come from? I went to the house and I got a gun. Probably overreacting, but. And was that when you pulled up and saw him?
I gave you one from the room. Did you smoke that one? Oh, when you got it, when you started for his rib, that was 30 minutes.
talked to them for a little while, and I told her. That I was still working. That to the house. That I was let start this when they got here.
You happen to have a list of all your ducks?
I can make one out now.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, this beer that shotgun was out here, now it's missing.
Absolutely.
Trying to figure that out.
No, absolutely.
And I know that out here in Kentucky, you probably have more than one too.
We do. We probably have 20, 25 guns, rifles, pistols.
Any rifles?
Yes, sir.
What kind of rifles?
All kinds.
Yeah.
All kinds. I mean, you name it across the board. We have them. Okay. All of them we have are, in our hunting room, in our house. My son works for my brother, and he was coming home to deal with sunflowers. He got here. He got here pretty early because he and I rode around looking at everything for a good little while. 45 minutes to an hour. Maggie had things she did in Charleston, and she had a doctor's appointment in Charleston, and she got back here. It was fairly late. Was it dark yet when Paul got home? No, Paul got home early. Okay, so before dinner time? Oh, yes, ma'am. Lunchtime? No, ma'am.
What brother does Paul work for?
John Martin.
And what does Paul do for him?
Everything.
Handyman, yes, sir.
Was it unusual for Maggie to feed the dogs this time of night or check on them? I mean, she played with those dogs all the time. And it's especially common for her to, she's been gone for a while, to come and let especially two of them out to run. So she pretty regularly comes out here in the evenings? Very regular. Comes out here a lot. I have deer cameras, but none, around up here. Where are they at? On different deer stands. Well, not necessarily deep in the woods. Some of them are in fields. But I don't. There's none that are near here.
What doctor appointment? What doctor did Maggie see today?
I forget the guy's name. Maggie's been having trouble with her. She's been having trouble with her stomach and her tooth. I'm not positive. It was sort of a routine visit, and I can't remember. She told me the name of it, and I can't. I want to say Gordine is who I think she saw.
So was she back home around supper time? Or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
I don't think she got back quite that early. I think she got back a little bit later than that.
What did you do? Were you in the office or?
No, I was home. I came home. Paul and I messed around. I was up at the house. I laid down, took a nap on the couch, probably, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes. I got up. I called Maggie.
can't get an answer. And I left to go to my mom's. She said she might ride with me, but she normally doesn't when I go over there. And I think I texted her, and she's very good about answering the phone, so that was odd, or calling me back, so that was odd, but it wasn't that big a deal.
What time was that?
What time was what?
That you sent her a text message.
Alright, I texted her at 9:08, wanted to check on him, be right back. And then I texted her at 9:47, that must be when I started to come back. I think I called her before that. Let me make sure. Pretty sure that I called her 9:45, and then I tried to call, and then, no, I think that was right. I think that might have been right over there. I mean, my calls were right here. So, obviously, this is when at 10:06, yes, sir. Michael supposed to go. I didn't want to do that. Sorry, I don't need it. Sitting behind the head is take some wood. It's not a big deal. I got some right here. Thank you, man. I'm sure we're going to have much more questions. I'm available for that. You know, let me know. What's another number that you want yourself? I don't have a house number. Okay. A office number. I can give you my brother's cell phone. What's Randy's? Hey, Randy's is 803-943-8881. John Marcus, 843-221-508. You said your dad's in the hospital? Yes, sir. Which hospital? Charleston? Savannah and St. Joseph's. Is he doing okay, or what's? He's having a really, really hard time. He's got a lot going on. He's doing okay, given everything, but he's got a lot going on. Not Maggie's family, where are they? Somerville. Have you been in touch with them? Contact. Yes. I had my brother call Bart, the wife of his sister, and the husband of Maggie's sister, so that they could go and tell Maggie's parents, And they were going there and calling me. So I'm not lucky there yet. Nice experiencing someone else. Yes. And her mom just had a knee replacement surgery, and her dad really has trouble getting around nowadays. Do you have any other children? I do. I have a 24-year-old. What's his name? Buster. Alexander Jr. He goes by Buster. He goes by Buster. This is your night. He's on the way.
This one's hard, but when you first saw Paul, you said you tried to flip him over. Was he laying on his back or on his stomach?
Just like he is.
So you weren't able to move him. Okay.
No matter.
So did he help Maggie a lot out here with the animals?
He helped everybody with everything.
So it was kind of routine for him to be out here as well.
This place is his absolute passion.
Okay.
I tried to turn him, and then I checked, and then I think I already did it, but I checked it.
And when you first pulled into the property, did you come from this direction all of these folks are, or which way did you come?
I went to the house,
Okay.
and then I came from the house straight to this place.
Okay.
I mean, where my vehicle is parked is probably,
Is where it was. Okay.
well, no, maybe not exactly, but it was pretty close, because I came back the same route
That's right, because you went back to get your shotgun.
when I came back. I can't think of anything else right now, but we'll certainly be in touch. Thank y'all for everything y'all are doing. So, just to kind of let you know what's going to go on, we're going to be out here for quite some time. Tomorrow we'll take custody of all of Maggie. Yeah. What? No, I'm here finished. Let me come up here while I'll be here when he gets here. No, don't let him come up here. Okay, yeah. I think we're about done. Sorry, thank you. Yes, sir. I don't know if I'm calling. Thank you. This is a decor will come over and talk to you. They'll do the autopsy and everything, and you can go from there. But we'll come to you before we leave. Very much. Thank you, Ms. Rucker. Thank you very much. Here, you want this water? Yes, please. Thank you. Yes.
So that was the audio we were just listening to from the day that it all happened.
What time was that?
I think it was 1 a.m.
Do you dispute 1257?
No, that sounds correct.
Would you describe that as an aggressive interview?
No.
part of your investigating procedure, did you listen to the 911 tape prior to this?
We did.
You say we, who's we?
Myself and Special Agent Owen.
Did you have, can everybody hear? Speak in the mic. Speak in the mic. Did you have that 911 knowledge in your mind when you were listening to this? Had you already heard it?
Yes.
And on the 911 tape, how long had Alex Murdaugh told the 911 operator that he'd seen Maggie Murdaugh?
He's estimated 1.5 to 2 hours.
2 hours. 1.5 to 2 hours. And on this tape, your interview, what had he said about seeing Maggie? When was the last time he'd seen Maggie Murdaugh?
About 2 hours.
Did he say he took a nap?
He took a nap.
Did he say where he went after that?
To check on his mother with Alzheimer's in Hampton.
Okay. Did you find that unusual?
I did.
Why?
Just the time of night.
Why?
With her being an Alzheimer's patient, they tend to be worse at night, so I seemed it was strange to go visit.
What time was the 911 call?
It was 10. I'm sorry. I'd have to check my notes. Okay. It was 10.
Leave that kitty alone.
This interview was 12:57.
Yes, that's correct.
In your interview, in Agent Owen's interview, did the defendant Alex Murdaugh tell you he tried to turn Paul over?
He did.
Did he say whether or not he had tried to check Paul's pulse and or Maggie's pulse?
He stated he tried to check both.
What did Mr. Murdaugh, Alex Murdaugh, say about the phone?
Amazingly, he tried to check both of them for a pulse and tried to turn his son over. And as bad as they had the gunshot wounds to their head, and brain matter went everywhere from Paul, how did Alex end up with no blood on his clothing, hands, body, anywhere? If he really tried to touch these two people, with the way the blood supposedly was, wouldn't he get it on him? Something to think about. Because, the defense says no, he had no blood whatsoever on him, but he tried to touch him.
Thing that was in Paul's possession.
He stated his phone popped out of his pocket.
When?
When he tried to check his pulse.
Did he try to turn him over?
That's what he said.
Hey, OG. This lady that we are listening to right now is the one that brought the search warrant to the scene.
and Murdaugh is looking at his phone. You remember that?
Correct, yes.
Can you actually see the phone in there and the times and the messages?
And we are listening to the prosecutor.
You can on the bottom left of the screen.
And what was that in response to that he was looking at that?
When I asked what time, he texted Maggie.
So you saw those on his phone, looking at those when y'all were talking to him in the car.
I couldn't see from where I was sitting, but reviewing the video, I could see it.
Reviewing the video, you see it.
Yes.
First witness of the day, and it's already been an hour, and at least an hour and 10 minutes of her on the stand. This was the one that also seen the footprints with the captain yesterday. When he was describing he was with somebody, this is who he's described, he was with, this lady.
That he tried to check him.
That's what he said.
And I know I asked you at the first, but I may not have done it too eloquently. Did he first tell you he tried to turn him over?
Yes, he did.
And I figured it out?
Yes.
And his cell phone popped out of his pocket?
That's correct.
And everybody heard it, but then something with it thinking maybe, then I put it back down really quickly, then I went, can't really understand the rest of it.
Yes.
What did you think about the phone popping out?
That would seem...
The objection is sustained.
Have you ever moved dead weight?
I have.
Start the helmet, please.
It must be pretty chilly in that courtroom because everybody's got like a sweater or something on their arms. Except for Murdaugh's sister, which she's a pretty heavy-set lady, so...
On top of it, just to warn everybody, these are graphic photos. First is number 2.
So, I guess they're still not letting the gallery see the graphic pictures or videos.
Who's this a picture of?
That's Maggie Murdaugh.
The defendant say he checked her pulse.
He did.
Did he tell you where?
He did not.
It's funny how he checked her pulse, but he had no blood on him. If she was as bad as they say that she was, he should have some kind of blood on him.
In this interview.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
After that, where did he say where?
Went to check on his mother in Hampton.
This again, if you keep your computer kind of place. Defense 1. Of course,
officer's permission, I'd like for the detective to come down, please, Judge.
Yes.
Detective, I'm going to get what you won't block it, I won't block it. Get back over here. Did the defendant tell you he tried to get the pulse of his son, Paul Murdaugh?
He did.
Did he tell you where he tried to get the pulse?
He did not. Just that he tried to turn him.
Say that last
He
thing.
tried to turn him.
And he told you he tried to turn him more than once, didn't he?
Yes.
Jack and Lady, how many times?
So my thing is, if he tried to turn both of these, his son and his wife, over with gunshots to their head, and one's head is basically no longer there, how did he not have blood on him? How did he not have blood on his person or his clothing? It doesn't make any sense.
Twice.
I think you testified you tried to lift the dead weight, right?
I have.
Can you describe what's around Paul Murdaugh?
Blood. Green matter.
And
They're not doing this live chat today.
Underneath his body.
If you were to check the pulse of his hands, how would you do it?
You would have to try to lift him up and get his arms out from under him.
Underneath.
Correct.
And roll.
Correct.
By the way, where's his son?
It's laying on the backside of his shorts.
Right there. Popped out, he said.
Yes.
Is that his brain?
That is.
Mr. Harpoon said blown out of his head.
Correct.
If you tried to take the pulse at the neck, how would you do it?
You would have to try to lift his shoulder to get access his neck.
Just like,
Correct.
whether you this way or this way.
Correct.
He's underneath.
Not
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
But it's unlimited. No, I said it's 5G.
When you saw Alex Murdaugh, when you first came up to him,
I need at least $60 to get me a good
go
phone.
back and sit down.
Yeah, but you gotta tax me and shit. $50 is just a price. That's not including tax and stuff.
When you first saw Alex Murdaugh
Yeah, I've gotta have some.
at the car,
I've gotta be able to have the tax money too.
did you observe him?
I did.
Why?
Just to make mental notes, what he was wearing and how he looked.
What were your mental notes?
That he was clean.
Say that again.
That he was clean.
When you were in the car, when
Both of them for the code. And one
you were behind him,
I was.
the other one's head is just got a big old hole and you can see right through it.
did you observe his hands?
I did.
Did you see his arms?
I did.
When you were out on the side of the road beforehand, did you see his shirt,
I did.
his pants,
Yes.
his shoes?
Yes.
Now, when you were at the scene, when you first got there, did you see any footprints in the blood?
No.
Did you see any knee prints in the blood?
No.
Anywhere around the body?
No.
Did you look at his shoes?
I did.
What kind of shoes? Alex Murdaugh shoes. What kind of shoes were they?
They were like an athletic tennis shoe.
Appeared to be blood on his shoe.
I did not.
Oh, should look at the lace up of his shirt. Did you see what appeared to be blood on Alex Murdaugh's hands?
I did not.
On his arm?
No.
On his shirt?
None.
On his shorts?
No.
On his shoes?
I did not.
So how did he try to
How long was this after the
pull the pulse for the pulse and turn them over?
2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
No blood on you? Ain't no blood of the fucking way.
All this fresh in his mind?
Yes.
How would you describe the defendant's hands when you saw him when you were interviewing him? How would you describe his hands?
They were clean. Clean.
How would you describe his arms?
They were clean.
How would you describe his t-shirt?
Clean.
How would you describe his shorts?
Clean.
How would you describe his shoes?
They were clean.
Turn in people and feel for a pulse. Then you gotta go back to it. Right now they're looking up the hill. Oh, I think they're looking at the guinea. I don't know what she's barking at. What are you doing, Patches? Patches! What are you doing? She's leaning up against the tree in the sun. You're not stuck again, are you? You're not stuck. Yeah, no, she's not on this one. She's not on this one. She's on the one right next to her doghouse. Facing me. I see you. I see you. I'm so pretty, guys. She's so cute. So fat, roly-poly.
Was this phone taken that night, Alex Murdaugh?
I believe so.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure, no, sir.
So it may not have been taken.
Yep, they're both fat, roly-poly.
And you were working with,
Yes.
after this interview, did you go to the actual house at 4147 now?
I did.
Did you go inside?
Just in the foyer, yes.
Did Agent Owens go inside?
He did.
Were the defendant's shirt, shoes, pants collected by Agent?
Yes.
You didn't collect them?
I did not.
And those are the same shirts, shoes, and pants he was wearing there?
Correct.
And Sled got them that night?
Yes.
After this, did you assist Sled in some things that came up in the investigation?
I did.
Okay. And I don't believe this would be objected to, but did you assist him with getting Maggie's card?
I did.
Some other cell phone evidence?
Search warrants.
Was there a search of some of the areas that you attended
Yes.
in and around
Yeah.
Moselle?
Correct. Yes.
Search of ponds?
Yes.
I put the girl in the backyard.
So you assisted Sled at some point throughout this investigation?
Yeah. Anytime they needed anything from the sheriff's office, Agent Owen could go through me or my captain, whether it was storing a vehicle as evidence or using our evidence bay to process anything. I was there to assist in any way that they needed.
And did you assist, I guess, in the helping with Alex Murdaugh's car as far as getting anything out of that car?
No, Sled processed with that.
Now, if you just listen to my questions, I believe I just want to ask you one final question. Is the individual in this courtroom who told you he tried to take the pulse of Maggie and Paul, is the individual in this courtroom who told you he tried to turn Paul over? Told you that once, twice? Is the individual in this courtroom that you took that statement from, that we saw on the video in this courtroom, and is the individual you described as clean from head to toe in this courtroom?
Yes, he is.
Please point him out for the jury.
He's sitting at the defense table wearing a grayish-brown jacket and a white shirt.
Your Honor, we'd like the record to reflect she has pointed out the defendant, Richard Alexander Murdaugh.
It does.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have you guys in the jury room for a break. Please do not discuss the case.
No, sir. All right, I guess we're on a break because I'm looking at the seal again. Well, they're not.
A recess takes place. We'll be in recess for 10 minutes.
All right, now they're going to recess. I don't know what. I guess whatever the judge was saying, they had to mute. So. Go grab you a refresh on your drink. Grab you a refresh on your snack. Court will be back in session at 11:10.